was riding along in the DRZ, went to pull off the road to another road, went to downshift, and now it's stuck down. Won't shift down. So let's pull it apart and see what's going on. We'll pull the skid plate off next. Best money I ever spent was titanium Race Tech skid plate bolts. I was having issues stripping them where I'd smear the heads off. It made it a pain in my ass to do anything with it. It's definitely not like fouling or hitting on nothing. Plenty of fucking room. It's not bent. It won't shift up. So let's pull off the shifter. It's real damn greasy, but I'm gonna clean it off real quick. There's a bunch of play. There's a snap ring, I believe, that pops off. So probably need to look at that next. It's hard to see, but the C-clip was missing, so I found it stuck in some goop. I'm gonna have to pull the clutch side cover. I did drain the oil. I'm gonna take the clutch cover off. Good thing I have a gasket, because that thing's fucking ruined. I guess let's take the clutch basket apart. Yes, let's take the clutch basket apart next. I get excited. And I accidentally knocked the nut off already, but there's a nut and a tab, and it's like 30 mil or something. We'll continue to pull this thing apart. I'm bad at recording because I get excited and in the moment. And I do have a book, so we can check everything. Look at there. Right there, some plastic in there. I'd say that's why I don't shift. See if I have a set of little pliers. Grab those in just a second. See if we can get this piece out. Little piece of plastic. Probably shouldn't put it on black, but I mean, I don't see why we can't test this. I don't know what the plastic's from, so that's concerning a little bit. I'm gonna have to look for that. I'm kind of thinking it's timing chain guide material. I think I'm just gonna send it because it's almost winter here. It's early September. Pulled that piece out, put a new serve clip on the shifter shaft, and one of my favorite tools is this SK gasket scraper. We're gonna have to get all this off and nice and clean. This thing just works really well. One of those tools that works a little too good sometimes. I really do like when gaskets come off nice, and since I've owned this for 5 years or so, 4 or 5, never had this cover off. Had the stator cover off because I do all the Loctite fixes on that side. And I've had some starter issues and some other odds and ends on the other side I've had to deal with, but never this side. There. That is plenty fucking clean. We'll start putting the clutch back together. And I do have a parts diagram pulled up for the clutch. We'll just look at everything. There's no visible grooves in the clutch basket, so I'm not too excited about that. That slides in. And there'll be a washer. We'll clean it off. In the inner basket. A little clutch material in it and no grooves, so I'm not worried about it right now. I believe this is an anti-judder spring. start putting the clutch in, moving some parts around. Actually, I think we're supposed to put the nut and washer on next. Washer, nut. I'll go look up what torque spec is for this. Got that torqued. Put the clutch rod in before I forget it. The plunger rod. Now I'll just look through the clutch, the fibers and the steels when I go through. I have no way of confirming, but supposedly this is some kind of, I'm trying to remember what brand it was, clutch. I believe it was I don't know. I'd have to actually look. For how terrible I treat this bike sometimes, the clutch actually looks really good. And that's mildly concerning, and it's actually really nice all at once, I think. I don't know. It just kind of is what it is, isn't it? But I'll turn you guys off and finish this. Start working on putting springs in. Another thing I'll have to look up torque spec for. I should have looked when I was up, but I didn't. And that's my fault. But hey, I'm just a boy. I'm just happy this wasn't something more extreme. This bike's been wonderful. This is the first actual issue it's really ever given me. And if you think about it, that's fucking lucky. Man, 40 some odd thousand miles on the bottom end, like 20,000 on a 434 kit. With hot cams. I do track days and ride it off-road and commute, and this bike does everything for me. I'm gonna switch over to the zapper. At least get them snug. I'm not ratcheting that much. We have the technology. I'm gonna look up torque spec. So we're on the DRZ. It has, I think, around 10 hours-ish after fixing that shift shaft issue. We're just cruising around. I thought it'd be a little more fun to ride around and talk about it than it would be to, you know, sit with me against the bike talking about it. I know I might be a little paranoid, but it does feel a little crunchier. I'm not sure how true that is, because I have been going from Monica's CRF and my KTM 500 to this, and this is definitely a little less refined. Hi! A little less refined than my DRZ. or the KTM and the Honda have a little better gearboxes. This stretch of road has a lot of gravel, so you do have to be careful. No, but it shifts fine. Downshifts, clutch feels good. Clutch has always felt good on this bike, though. Clutch has never been an issue on this. It's a little heavy. Has hits and plates and some percent overspring. No, but what initially happened is I was riding along, went to downshift, shifter got stuck down and was stuck between like third and fourth. I could have those two gears. And you saw I found that piece of plastic. Get in your fucking lane. I found that piece of plastic. Or it ended up being like a piece of RTV. It was real soft. I don't think it was timing chain guides. I did look up in there and I didn't see anything. But, it shifts fine now. Like I said, it feels clunky, but it's also DRZ coming off that KTM or Monica CRF. Those are definitely a little more refined than this. This is kind of a clunky old bike in comparison. But at the same time, I can't complain about this thing. This thing's always treated me well. Super reliable, handles well. It's fun. I love this bike. Jumping the DRZ. I also wanted to add another note that I have driven this a few miles now, and like I don't even notice the transmission being crunchy anymore. I definitely do think it's not as refined as the other bikes, and like I always notice that when I have my groms and stuff. So that is something I wanted to note, is like I did get used to it pretty quick, so it might just be in my head because I'm a little paranoid about it.